Hello, investors. Today, I would like to talk a little bit about Tesla. So, the question has come up whether or not you should buy, sell, or hold Tesla. I currently have a position in Tesla, and I want to talk about what Tesla is, at least for me, and I think pretty much what it's going to be for the world in general. So, Tesla, a lot of people consider it as just being a car company. And it's way more than just a car company. A lot of people want to value it and compare it against car companies like General Motors. Now, Volkswagen is making some electric cars, so they want to compare it to Volkswagen um, or even Ford, because Ford has now the Ford Mustang Mach-E. But Tesla is way more than just a car company. Tesla is also an energy storage company. They make power walls, and they also make energy storage for the grid. And their first iteration of that was, I believe, in Melbourne, Australia. Um, and that was a energy storage project that would store all the energy from renewable resources at peak times, and then distribute it and sell it to consumers on off-peak times. And what it did was it basically balanced out the surges, or the peaks and dips in the power grid. So Tesla is not only a car company, but they are also an energy storage company. They're a solar company. So you can actually buy solar roofs from Tesla. Uh, it used to be Solar City, and Tesla bought it and is now incorporating their power walls with their solar systems. So when you buy a solar system from Tesla, you can also get solar or energy storage, and that will help you to. Could also help you save with uh, energy consumption costs, because it again allows you to use battery power to power your house at peak hours of the day. Tesla is also a charging station company. They produce about, I don't know, around 4 or 5 charging stations around the world that have between 8 and 12 stalls every week. And they've been increasing their production by about 40% from last year. And they just created a new plant in China that's supposed to produce somewhere, I believe, 30,000 chargers a month to deploy around the world to support that supercharger station. So if you're looking at investing in charging station companies, Tesla is by far the most dispersed and most accessible, but it is also proprietary to Tesla. But since Tesla is already the number one car, especially in America, for battery cars, you would be supplying the majority of those cars. There's been talks about them sharing those charging stations with other manufacturers, but that hasn't actually been confirmed yet, I don't believe. Tesla is also an insurance company. So they have launched insurance in California and I believe one other state, and they're looking to open up in 4 or 5 more states. But their insurance is based upon your driving habits and that your car reports back to the insurance company. So the safer you are as a driver, the lower your insurance. Teslas are the safest car on the road, so the lower your insurance. If you drive in full self-driving, you are more than 10 times less likely to get into an accident. Therefore, lower the insurance. And as they introduce this insurance throughout different states, I know Illinois is one of the ones they're working on, um, that will disrupt the insurance industry as we know it. Not only will it provide cheaper insurance for people, but it will also allow or create a incentive to purchase Teslas. Tesla is also a manufacturing company, not just an assembly company. So they produce many of the components of their cars. Now they have an agreement with Panasonic to produce batteries, but Tesla is moving to produce their own batteries. They uh, they stamp their own body parts for it. They produce their own engines, their own motors. They're very vertically integrated. So what that does, it also creates a more stable supply chain, and it allows them to control their costs uh, more easily or reduce costs because you don't have to pay a middleman. Another business that's more of a short-term business for Tesla is a carbon credit provider. So a lot of the critics of Tesla are complaining that Tesla would not make a profit if it were not for the carbon credits that they sell to other manufacturers. And those are going to primarily was Daimler, which changed their name to like Allegra or something, I can't remember. And Honda has now joined that bandwagon. But Japanese car companies in particular have not made the battery conversion. Toyota is all in on hybrids, not battery operated. Honda, also hybrid, not battery. They just released a battery vehicle in Europe. It's not selling that great. And so as these other car companies struggle to produce battery vehicles, then Tesla is able to offset their carbon credits, by selling them to these other car manufacturers. So when I say it's short term, I mean that maybe in 5 years, so a lot of governments are talking about not selling ICE cars or internal combustion engine cars by 2030. And some of them go as far as 2045. Regardless, a lot of governments are starting to create these deadlines, and we don't know if they're going to move or not, but at least we can kind of see the end of the internal combustion engine on the horizon. And Tesla is perfectly, well, they're actually the penetrator into the market. So they're kind of like Apple in terms of they weren't the first battery car on the market, but they made the battery car better than everyone else, and now they dominate the market. And as they're ramping up production, they don't have to, so far, they don't have to worry about union costs. They don't have to worry about retooling costs because everything they're producing is focused towards battery vehicles, which all indications show is going to be the future. Another thing that Tesla is, it's an AI company. So Tesla has been working on the Neuralink, and there's all kinds of things. If anyone's seen the movie Firefox, Clint Eastwood, he goes and steals a Russian fighter jet, and the way it's controlled is by using brain signals. He puts on the helmet, and he has to think the commands in order for it to happen. Well, Neuralink is exactly that, and don't know how far in the future before it develops, but Tesla is on the cutting edge of artificial intelligence, not only for their Neuralink, but also for their full self-driving. They are looking at creating a system of full self-driving that only uses cameras, and not LiDAR like other companies, and no radar. So just the fact that they're just going to use cameras already decreases their production costs and may increase the opportunity for them to hit the market first. So we can see how that's going to play out. They also do not need to geofence any areas for their full self-driving like competitors like the Cadillac system or even the Ford system. They have to have geofenced or exactly mapped highways in order for their systems to work. And Las Vegas has been a huge testing ground for some of these LiDAR systems, and they're very tightly geofenced areas. And Tesla does not need to be geofenced. You can drive their full self-driving system anywhere because it is based upon recognition and of signs and road markings using artificial intelligence. That leads us into Tesla being a software company. So one of the advantages of having Tesla is that while your car sits in the garage, not only is it fueling at a lower rate because it's using electricity, which is cheaper than gasoline, and not only can you program your car to only accept energy at low energy times, but if you have solar, you're basically charging your car and your house at no additional cost after your initial setup costs of solar. And so as your car's sitting in the garage overnight, it will receive updates from Tesla. And so the idea is that Tesla, when you buy your car, that's the worst your car is ever going to be the day you buy it. Because from then on, you're going to be receiving updates that will improve the performance, improve the technology, improve the usability, even things like gaming come to Tesla. And so Tesla is also a software company where none of these other car companies are able to compete. So they always use third parties, and Tesla, like I said, is very vertically integrated. What does this mean for Tesla? Well, Tesla is an industry disruptor. Not only are they disrupting the auto industry, but they are disrupting the energy industry. They're disrupting the insurance industry. They're disrupting the charging industry because now when they have chargers, their chargers are on Supercharger version 3, and those can charge up to 250 kilowatt hours, and very few competitors. There's very few competitors who do that same thing. They are a leader in artificial intelligence. They're a leader in software development for cars. They're also a leader in software development for energy. These are all industry disruptions. They are, I wouldn't say they're revolutionary in energy storage because there are some really creative ways of storing energy. But Tesla is certainly is one of them. So they are also very innovative as a solar company. No one likes the looks of solar panels necessarily. Some people don't mind, I'm sure. But Tesla is also the only solar company where you can get solar shingles, which is also, if you don't, it makes your house look more traditional. It's a little bit less efficient than a regular solar panel, but still, if you want solar and you don't want the look of solar panels, you have that option. Coming up this weekend, Elon Musk is supposed to be on Saturday Night Live, and there's a lot of speculation as to what will this mean for Tesla. And my answer is absolutely nothing long term. It may, so Tesla does not have a marketing or a PR department like other car companies do. They spend a lot of money on advertising. Tesla spends very little to zero. I wouldn't say they spend zero necessarily because they still produce videos. Um, they still, Elon uses his Twitter account basically to get the word out on different items. Um, People on YouTube create lots of videos that promote the car company. But on the other side, they have nothing to fight people like Consumer Reports, who go out and produce videos on how to fool full self-driving by hanging weights off a steering wheel, clicking the seatbelt behind your back, crawling over into the passenger seat, trying to reach over to hit the gas pedal. I mean, the FUD, which is fear, something, and disinformation. I can't remember what the U stands for. Is just crazy. So recently, um, in China, there's a lady who says that her father died because the brakes on the Tesla failed. So Tesla releases all the information on that car, and it shows that he was hitting the brakes going about 20 miles an hour over the speed limit, rear-ending into a car, and he ultimately died in that accident. And so one of the things is every time something happens with Tesla, it's magnified in the media because I think the oil industry obviously is certainly against Tesla, and the media just follows along. And so this is just another instance where we can apply the term fake news to a lot of these media outlets. Even recently, Motor Trend has released their EV. Last month, I believe, they released their EV issue, and it talked about whether or not Tesla was as good as the Mach-E. Ultimately, they decided the Model Y was better than the Mach-E, but they said Tesla nudged it out by a nose. I would argue that Ford lost it by a nose because when you look at the nose of that Mach-E, it looks like a clown face. And so I would say Ford lost it by a nose. Tesla did not win it by a nose. So anyway, so there is some advantages to not having a media department in terms of cost savings, but then you have nothing to fight against, FUD, media articles that are misleading about Tesla. So anyway, Elon Musk is hosting Saturday Night Live, and a lot of people are anticipating a surge in Tesla stock coming, opening bell Monday. So they're anticipating stock will go up for Tesla because Elon will give Tesla some extra exposure, and we'll see how Elon's. I don't think he's a very good communicator. I'm probably not a good communicator either, but it's kind of like putting George Bush up there. I don't think he was a great communicator either. He's no Barack Obama. So anyway, a lot of people are anticipating a surge in stock price for not only Tesla, but also Dogecoin. So for some reason, I don't really know why, but Dogecoin has been one of the things that Elon has made memes about, and he's talked about. He set up his kids last month to start mining Dogecoin, and all of a sudden Dogecoin took off. And so they're anticipating possibly another surge in Dogecoin, and I think these surges, if anything, would be short term. So in terms of industry experts and what they say about Tesla in terms of the quality of their vehicles as a car company, a lot of people like to point to Sandy Munro. And so one of the things Sandy Munro is credited with is taking the Dodge Ram, informing Chrysler or Dodge how to build a better Dodge Ram. And as a result, the Dodge Ram now has gotten Truck of the Year at least 2 times in a row, and maybe 3. I'm not entirely sure, but definitely 2 times in a row. And so he was a consultant. That was the word I was looking for. He was a consultant for Dodge, and and it brought their vehicle to the top of the class. Not necessarily the best selling. The F-150 is still the best seller, but guess what? The Cybertruck is coming. And so a lot of people like to say, oh, battery cars are coming. Well, I got news for you. The Cybertruck is coming. And so, traditional car manufacturers, I think they should be on notice. I don't think Tesla should be on notice. Currently, Tesla sells about 2% of the car industry in general, and there's plenty of room for growth. The thing is that leaves 98% of the car market, and there's lots of room for other entries such as the ID.4 or the Chevy Bolt or whatever else comes out. But so far, and there's one from Volvo that's been kind of interesting. It had a huge recall recently, but you also have new startups such as Rivian and a few others. But a lot of them are priced higher if they can meet the specs, and if they're priced the same, the specs are not very good. At least they can't compete with Tesla specs at the same price. So Lucid Air is an example of that. They're starting their vehicles off at around 180,000, and it's basically the same as a $90,000 Tesla Model S. And of course, we have the Model S Plaid Plus coming out later this year, which will basically put all these cars to shame. And I think they're anticipating a price tag of like $140,000 for that one. So anyway, what would I do with Tesla? Would I buy? Would I sell? Would I hold? Well, I'm currently holding, and I'm holding for the long term. And I think Tesla in the next 5-6 years is going to at least triple in value. That's just my feeling on it. I think that they're going to disrupt a lot of industries, and people are too narrow-minded when they're talking about Tesla as a car company. When should you buy Tesla? Now, Tesla is a very volatile stock, and it was in the 500s, 4 to 6 weeks ago. It was a great opportunity to buy if you had the money on the sideline. I did not buy. I didn't have any money on the sideline at the time. But, I bought Tesla pre-split, and I'm around 400% or so gains on that stock in a short amount of time. And so I still see a lot of growth in the company. I think it's a great long-term investment. You're going to need, let's see, the stock price is currently, actually the stock is down and it's in 665 or so. And if that gets to 600, absolutely buy. Should you buy now? Yes, if you're looking for the long term. And that comes into what kind of investor are you? Are you investing for the long term? And I think most of our young investors definitely should be looking long term for Tesla. So another thing is tax implications. If you sell before a year, you have to pay income tax. Now, if you're a young investor and you're making, less than $20,000 a year or something like that, you're living with your parents and whatnot, I guess you're not going to get hit with a huge tax bill because you don't make enough money to pay a lot of taxes. So it probably doesn't matter. But if you are, making $60,000, $70,000 a year, you certainly would rather probably rather pay capital gains than pay income tax. So anyway, thanks for listening, and I hope that this information helped on your views with Tesla. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear them. I also noticed a lot of you are not subscribing. If you subscribe, I think you'll get notification. Well, subscribe and hit the notification bell, and any new videos that are posted, you should get notified on them. So enjoy the rest of the day, and thank you for watching.